Alright, let's see. It was more of a ghost-looking thing than like a hairy monster, so we'll go with ghost. Maybe phantom. We haven't had a phantom in a while. Let's do phantom. Let's see. And the shock, the big explosion, the electric phantom, the steel phantom, the Funtown Phantom. Ooh, that's got potential. Funtown Phantom. Well, I'll ask Shaggy. He's usually better at coming up with names than I am. But I think that's got some potential. Oh, hi. Thank you for agreeing to come and talk to me. I heard that you were very, very close to the Funtown Phantom before the explosion happened, and I would love to just ask you a few questions if you would be all right with that. Oh, you're looking a little out of sorts. Are you feeling a little scared? Feeling shocked after everything that happened? I see. Sorry. I guess not everybody is used to this kind of thing. It seems to happen to me and my friends a lot. We can't go anywhere without something going wrong and some sort of a monster or a ghost or a haunting going on. Although, between you and me, it's almost never real. Yeah, it's usually just somebody in a costume or some sort of an animatronic. Or one time it was a robot that was actually supposed to help, but he went kind of haywire. It was kind of crazy. Anyway, sorry, I'm sure that this has been kind of a surprising night for you, huh? Yeah, it was, of course, the first day of the reopening of Funtown after it was renovated because of the new managers. It was supposed to be a great night, but that makes it the perfect time for somebody to screw it up, doesn't it? Anyway, could I get your name, please? Okay, great. And where were you exactly when the big shocking explosion happened and the Funtown Phantom came out? So you were really close. Okay. Listen, I know that this is all a little bit scary, but that's why my friends and I are here. We're going to take care of this. Okay, we are very, very good at figuring out what's going on. And like I said, it's almost never actually a real haunting. Except for this one time on this island with these werecats. But that's not what's going on here. Definitely not. Anyway, you're looking a little disheveled. Would it help you calm down so that you can talk to me clearly if I help sort of clean you up a little bit? Okay, sure. Here, let me just get this little rag here. This is a little more Daphne's deal than mine, but I can help sort of dust off some of this debris. Actually, I wonder if there might be some clues on you. You know, any sort of stray fibers or hairs, anything like that. Before I fully dust you off, would you mind if I just take a close-up look at you, make sure that there isn't anything that we're missing? All right, thanks. I'm just gonna come just to take a good look at you here. Any sort of stray fibers or hairs, anything like that? Wait, do you have a pet? Oh, it's probably just their hair. Okay, never mind. So what exactly did this phantom look like in your eyes? Was it somebody who was more solid? Were they translucent? Did they seem really like jerky, kind of robotic? Or did it seem more organic? What would you say? Yeah. It's usually just somebody in a suit, honestly. Sometimes people can make these cool holograms, and that can really scare people because it's like not solid, and so it's obviously not somebody in a suit, but it's always something. Let me see. What is this? Hold on, let me get my tweezers. I don't want to contaminate the sample. It looks like you might have some stray fibers on you. Sort of a silvery type of thread. That might be from the big thing that the Phantom was wearing. Yeah, let me just get my little specimens jar here. If I can find out where this fabric was from, there we go. Maybe I can track down the culprit. So, what kind of details do you remember about the Phantom? Do you remember maybe how tall they were, what their voice sounded like? Anything like that would be helpful in us narrowing it down. Okay. Yes, I know you're still feeling a little bit scared. Actually, that's sort of a good thing because you've got this adrenaline running through your body, and so that helps to make your senses a little more acute. So it would be better for you to, recount the details while you're still feeling that adrenaline, because once the adrenaline wears off and you're feeling more safe and at ease, you might forget some of the crucial details. So it's very important that I speak with you as soon as possible. Weird things like this happen all the time in Crystal Cove. It's sort of a paranormal hotspot. Although, like I said, most of it is not actually paranormal. There's always a logical explanation. You just have to follow the clues, ask around, investigate, find out what sort of people might have a vendetta against whatever went wrong. There's always someone. In fact, sometimes there's multiple someones. Speaking of which, do you know of anyone who might not want this new Funtown to succeed? We have a few suspects, but we're still just asking around. Well, we've got, first of all, Vincent Sparks. He was the previous owner of Funtown, but of course it was really in disrepair. You see, he was kind of scammed out of a bunch of money from his business partner. He's still pretty bitter about it. And he ended up having to sell to the new management here. But according to him, this place was his vision and his baby, sort of, and he doesn't want anyone changing things and profiting from it. So clearly, that's a motive. Although he doesn't necessarily have a whole lot of money to make this elaborate costume, so unless he's been watching a lot of YouTube tutorials, who knows? Otherwise, there's that environmentalist too. See, she's been all over the country, but she's been parked right here for quite a while. You see, she didn't approve of the park in the first place, but definitely did not approve of this expansion. Because you see, the area around here is wetland, which is a very, very important ecosystem to the natural wildlife. In fact, this area used to be a protected animal sanctuary of the wetland. But then somehow, right after the new management took over, the city rezoned the sanctuary and took out some of their land so that they could sell it to them. Suspicious. Feels like somebody maybe got their palms greased a little bit at City Hall, you know what I mean? Don't tell Fred I said that. It's okay. It's not Fred. Freddie is super nice. So, but it could possibly be Mona Graves, too. She was actually outside of City Hall picketing before their last meeting, and then she was out front, too. You probably saw her when you walked into the park today with all of their picket signs and yelling stuff about the environment and wildlife and how, human progress and capitalism is destroying the world. Yeah, same old, same old. But, she does have a point, I guess. But is that enough to make her the Funtown Phantom? Again, motive, but what are her means? Does she really have the ability to do that? Personally, I think that it might be somebody with a little more technical know-how. My theory is that big explosion, all of that electricity charging through the roller coaster and all of that, and the big booms and all of the lights going out, to me it sounds like some sort of either a really, really high electrical charge or maybe something like an EMP cannon or something like that. And you can't just go down to the nearest Mega Mart and pick those up. Somebody had to have access to something like that. Someone maybe who's a mechanic or an engineer, something like that. Anyway, I'm still just trying to piece everything together. The others are out hunting for clues, which is good. Usually I like to be out hunting for clues too, but got this busted ankle, so here I am questioning people instead. That's all right. Sometimes our investigations hinge on what observers. So, anyway, what was your name exactly? Okay, I think I might have already asked you that, but just making sure. And can you think of anybody else who might not want to see the park succeed? There is always the possibility that it was an insurance fraud from the current owners, but they seem to have put a lot of effort into this place. Who? Timmy Phillips, all right. And who is that exactly? Ooh, a mechanic, all right. Oh, a former mechanic. Interesting. So he worked on the rides around here. I see. Sort of a maintenance crew. Did he help with actually building and designing things? Okay. Why former? Ooh. Let go is always a good motivation. Definitely possible, wanting to get revenge. Why exactly was he let go? Did he do something wrong? Budget cuts. Oh, I see. So they said it was budget cuts, but he was trying to get a union together. Unfortunately, when there's mistreatment of employees, the ones who are the loudest bringing attention to the mistreatment of the employees, they're the ones with the biggest targets on their backs. He's a union guy, huh? I didn't know there was a union for roller coaster mechanics. Oh, well, I guess he would have been the first. Visionary of his time, huh? So he was recently let go from the park here. Interesting. That definitely could give him some motive. And I suppose he would have a little more know-how, the actual rides. Did you notice that even though the rides were malfunctioning and things were kind of going crazy, no one actually got hurt? That feels like it's got to be somebody who knows about the rides. You know what I mean? Someone who would know what would make them safe and make them break in a way that would make them scary but not actually hurt anyone. Suspicious. Very suspicious. Anything else that you can think about this Timmy Phillips? Ooh, okay. Oh no. Family business failing too, huh? What do his parents do? Oh yeah, nobody really needs those fixed anymore, do they? Have they thought of expanding at all? Well, maybe I could just give them some tips on different, technology and things that they could be investing in. Interesting. Where would I find him exactly? Do you know? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Over at the family business. Does he like to go to any of the pizza places or cafes or something in town? Somewhere where you might find him? Okay, interesting. Although I would bet that he's not too far from here. I would not be surprised if he was our Funtown Phantom. Well, maybe. You didn't hear that from me, all right. Technically, I should probably not be discussing the investigation with you, see, as it is still an open investigation. Oh, no, I'm not a detective or anything like that. We're not technically an official investigation, at least not in the police sort of sense. Yeah, we actually we don't really have any authority at all, legally, but we are very, very good at solving cases. there was this other time we went down to Costa Rica for the grand reopening of a museum down there. We ended up getting chased by a dinosaur, which was super bizarre. But it wasn't actually a dinosaur. It was actually just an excavator that had been painted over and sort of disguised by a very talented art student. Very interesting. And this other time we went on safari and there were all of these like creepy glowing animals and this weird noise, and everybody thought that it was like some sort of animal demons and all the actual animals were disappearing. Turns out it was actually just a pair of poachers who were posing as fourth-time honeymooners or something like that. They were a little weird, honestly. A little too much PDA for me, but we caught them. We returned the animals. It's all good. Like I said, it's rarely ever actually something like spooky or paranormal. But don't let City Council hear me saying that, because it's kind of a big tourist attraction for Crystal Cove around here. There's a whole little exhibit, a museum of the paranormal, I suppose you would call it. Most of it's not real, but I'm not allowed to lead tours anymore because of that, so you never know. Okay, anything else that you can think of, either about Timmy Phillips or about what you saw of the Phantom, anything like that? Okay, interesting. Yeah, well, everyone's pretty freaked out around here. We'll see. We'll see if they even keep this park open. The new management does seem to be pretty invested in it, but I wouldn't doubt that they maybe cut some corners in safety things, you know what I mean? Especially if they were going around firing their safety officers. Not a very good look, and one that I'm not sure City Council actually knew about. That would be an interesting one. Yeah. Have you heard anything about the new owners, this company that just kind of came in and said they were amusement park experts? Yeah, well, I guess they didn't, they've never worked somewhere like Crystal Cove before. Oh, well. Alright, do you mind if I just look over you again? Just make sure that I didn't miss any sort of clues. Alright, great. I hope you're starting to calm down a little bit. As I said, it's probably nothing. It's probably just some jerk in a suit. Or someone who's angry at somebody for something. Who knows? There's always somebody who doesn't like certain things. Let's see. I don't think I'm seeing anything else. I mean, there's some dirt and grime around here. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. That one piece of sort of shiny fiber material, that could very well be a clue, but besides that, I'm not really seeing anything. Well, besides all this grime from the explosion. I've got plenty of that as a sample, though. Oh, that's right, I did say I would try to sort of clean you off, huh? Here we go. Got a nice little clean rag here, okay? I think it's clean. Yeah, it looks good. Do you want me to just kind of try to wipe your face off a little bit? Okay. No, nobody got hurt at all. Like I said, it was kind of weird, actually, that something would go so wrong, and yet no one ended up hurt. To me, that sounds like a very specific sort of sabotage. You know what I mean? Yeah. We'll see. Oh, the ankle? Well, that was actually a very interesting story from our last mystery that we were trying to solve. You see, there was this haunting apparently at this old mansion. It's on this big property that's been around here since the 1700s or something like that. And there was a haunting of supposedly one of the family's former heads of household, the Willoughby mansion. And he was apparently coming back to let his family know that he wasn't all too pleased with how they had been running the mansion and the property and all that kind of stuff. See, his great lots of greats granddaughter, Eleanor Willoughby, she is the last living descendant of, what was his name? Friedrich Willoughby? I think that was it. And she's been, well, losing money on the place. It was a bed and breakfast for a while, but unfortunately, being in a town like Crystal Cove, it's not exactly a cozy weekend getaway. It's more just exciting for, fans of the paranormal and things like that. But then those people want to stay more just at a cheap hotel, bonus points if it's haunted, as opposed to a very nice, kind of expensive bed and breakfast, you know what I'm saying? So she was actually looking at maybe having to sell the place. And then all of a sudden, there's the ghost of Friedrich Willoughby around, trying to, I don't know, chase her off? Well, it turns out that Eleanor Willoughby was actually not the last living descendant of Friedrich Willoughby. See, she didn't know, but her father actually had a brother that they had this huge falling out like 30 years ago or something like that. And she didn't know that she actually had a cousin. But that cousin knew that underneath the house of the Willoughby mansion, there were all these secret tunnels that were jam-packed full of riches. Gold, diamonds, all kinds of rare and beautiful things that were worth, well, more than a small fortune. But Eleanor didn't know about them. So it turns out her cousin, Willard Willoughby, came back and decided to try to haunt her and scare her into selling at far below the market value so that he could sweep in as just some random investor, because she didn't know who he was, so she didn't know what he looked like, and then make off with the treasure. But we figured it out first. If it weren't for us meddling kids, she would have sold her mansion to her estranged cousin without even knowing that it was him. Just goes to show you, don't try to pull off a heist like that near Crystal Cove, because Mysteries Incorporated will get you. Just like we're going to figure out who the Funtown Phantom is, and everything is going to be fine. Alright? No one's actually going to get hurt. It probably is just somebody who doesn't like the park. Vincent Sparks, Mona Graves, or Timmy Phillips. My theory is Timmy Phillips right now. But you never know. It really could be any of them. Thanks to the internet and just some clever videos on YouTube, anybody can learn almost anything these days, if you're properly motivated. There we go. Well, I would still suggest taking a shower when you get home, but at least we got some of that sort of grime and the smoke and stuff off of your face, yeah. Here, let me just brush you off. Yeah, you're kind of a mess, aren't you? Like I said, this is more Daphne's type of thing, but I don't mind helping to clean you up a little bit. You have been very helpful telling me about Timmy Phillips. Hopefully, I can track him down and ask him some questions about his whereabouts this evening. As far as I know, Funtown is still set to open again tomorrow, so we'll see. You know, that's actually sort of a good thing, because if somebody Struck once, they'll probably strike again. And Freddy is very excited about his new trap that he's setting up, so I would guess that it would be too much longer before the Funtown Phantom is behind bars. There. Well, I mean, like I said, it's not perfect, but I think that will suffice. Well, you are still looking a little bit, a little shocked. Maybe it would be best for you to head home and get some rest. Well, take a shower and then get some rest. Yeah, but don't go too far. You know, I would love to still have you somewhat nearby in case I need to ask you some more questions about Timmy. In fact, here, let me get you my number, all right? Just in case you think of anything else, you can text me. I mean, you can call me, but I would prefer text. Yeah. Go ahead and text this number if you think of anything else that you think might be useful, okay? There you go. You take that with you. Try to, get some rest. If after the adrenaline runs out, you do happen to think of anything else, any other details, please let me know right away, all right? We're going to get this case wrapped up in no